eHobby is a Takara Tomy affiliated online store, and even though the eHobby shop sells a variety of toys manufactured by Takara, it's best known for offering exclusive redecos of Transformer toys. Now the word exclusive doesn't need explaining, but a redeco might. That's a toy which uses the same molds as a previously released toy, but has since been reproduced with different colors or paint applications. A redeco can either be officially marketed as the same character in different colors or as a different character, as shown here with these Secret Jets. Starscream's mold has just been repainted to give us his two other fellow Seekers, Thundercracker and Skywarp. The eHobby shop officially launched in March 2000, and by March 2001, Takara would release the first exclusive toy through the eHobby shop, a black redeco of the original Megatron toy, later re-released through eHobby in 2009, now in collector's edition packaging, which is this version. Since then, the range of exclusive products got bigger. Reissues of the original were followed by more same-character redecos and new colors. With the launch of Takara's The Transformers collection line of book box reissues, eHobby would start to regularly offer an exclusive redeco of almost every toy released as part of the line. Many of those redecos were based on old Diaclone or microchange variants of the toys in question, but were given new names and identities. Takara broadened the scope of their re-releases in 2001 with the inception of the Collector's Edition, which offered more classic toys as exclusives through various Japanese conventions and retailers in the summer of that year. While reissues of major characters or especially large toys in their original G1 packaging continued, the Collector's Edition afforded diligent fans the chance to obtain smaller and or lesser known characters. This is where I introduce to you the Dimension Exploration Researchers. I wasn't hunting for mine when I purchased it a few years ago, and I didn't even know much about the background of the figures either, but I was immediately drawn to their color variations, and sometimes as a collector, it only takes something like that for you to add a piece to your collection. Yes, they're essentially just reissues, but in the world of redecos, they are definitely near the top of the list. They also have a fun little backstory, which also adds to their interest. My set was purchased from a local friend/dealer. I hadn't planned on purchasing them as I was just at his place picking up a different figure, but he brought them to my attention and it was just something that I had to have. These figures look fantastic in these new colors and it was instantly a done deal. He has since picked up an MISB version for himself. This really isn't a set that I have seen very often on eBay at least, so I'm glad that I picked mine up when I did. In addition to these straight reissues, a small number of unique redecos of other larger mass retailer reissues were sold under the Collector's Edition label through online retailer eHobby in 2001 and early 2002. This became the defining aspect of the series when Takara then launched the Transformers collection line in mid-2002, making numerous smaller G1 toys available at mass retail. The Collector's Edition line shifted to being entirely exclusive to eHobby, and started to consist of redecos or retools of nearly every new Transformers collection reissue as it came out, often using Diaclone and microchange color schemes, creating some of the first major brand new characters to be added to the G1 canon in the 21st century. Bad Boy is a redeco of the mini vehicle Power Glide, transforming into an A-10 Thunderbolt II assault plane. I admit I prefer the redeco of this version. The contrast of the white and blue really works well compared to the red and gray. And you'll also notice that he's a Decepticon instead of the Autobot symbol that we are accustomed to. Next is Bugbite, a brilliant, amoral scientist specialized in co-opting and adapting others' technology and advancements for his own use. For me, it's a toss-up between the redeco and G1. Both colors pop dramatically, but gun to my head, I'd have to go with Bumblebee. You'll notice the difference with the head sculpts, in which case I would prefer the redeco. Pathfinder is calm, a rational female guardian. A redeco of the mini-vehicle Cosmos toy, transforming into a flying saucer based on George Adamski's eyewitness designs of real flying saucers. Road Ranger is a redeco of the mini-vehicle Huffer, transforming into a cab-over style semi-truck. Smallfoot is a redeco of the mini-vehicle Gears, transforming into a pickup truck. Another tough one for me to choose between. Both of the color schemes aren't the greatest, but I'm inclined to go with the orange and red since it reminds me of Fire Guts God Jinrai's colors, and I really do love that figure. The Gobots version of Smallfoot certainly wins hands down in terms of vehicle realism. Treads is a redeco of the mini-vehicle Warpath, transforming into a General Motors M55 1A1 Sheridan ARAAV tank. Hands down, I would have to say that I prefer Tread's coloring over the G1 original. The dark green is really such a sweet color, it matches nicely with the black tank treads. Also, it reminds me of the Collector's Edition Overcharge figure that I have, which was also one of my first figures that I acquired at my first toy convention. I think the exact opposite of everything I just said could be applied to the Gobots version of Tread shown here. I'm really at a loss for words how to describe this figure. I'm extremely happy that I was able to purchase my set a while ago, and I'm glad my friend has finally done the same for himself as well, so that he may enjoy this set for himself too. I know some people may have an issue with reissue or redeco sets and don't consider them to be part of the G1 line. Yeah, they weren't reissued at the time period as the original G1 molds, and they may be a different color, but I don't think that should take away from what great figures they are, especially when there is such a great backstory and crossover as this particular set has.